Well, good morning, everybody. It is Rachel, better known as Better Love on TikTok. Rachel Banks, going to kick if it's going to connection on YouTube. Rachel Better Love Banks on Facebook. Good morning. I hope everybody had a great evening. Hi, I am what you consider a generational caregiver. I had my mom for 15 years who suffered from Alzheimer's, congestive heart failure, and Parkinson's. But prior to her passing in 2022, I had to get my adults and everybody know Captain the Honey Bun Gang, who made an appearance yesterday when I got home from work because people were saying, "Where is Kevin? Where is Kevin?" My son suffers from schizophrenia and affective disorder, early onset Alzheimer's. Yes, that's a real thing. I did put up that information, and there's also such thing as early early onset dementia. But Kevin also suffers from traumatic brain injury. So lately, I've been talking about the different things that Kevin deals with, such as because of the TBI and with the spine and everything, Kevin has what they call Parkinson's walk. Not Parkinson's disease, but Parkinson's walk. But I want to talk to you about and read about what traumatic brain injury can do to a person. I'm going to show a picture of Kevin later when he first got hit in the head. And this is before, um, well, during when he was having mental breakdowns when he was younger that I didn't know was mental health issues. And I believe the traumatic brain injury made it worse and amplified it. You guys know I come with statistics and facts. That's just who I am, who I will be always. So this is, and I mean, when I say Google is free, Google is free. But this defines Kevin perfectly. Traumatic brain injury, TBI, causes significant mental effects, including cognitive issues, memory loss, confusion, poor concentration, and emotional slash behavioral problems like depression, anxiety, irritability, personally change, impulsive, and increased risk of suicide. You guys know I have talked about that my son tried to use the police to unalive him. It's called suicide by cop. That is a real thing. Please look that up. Cognitive effects, and we're talking about the effects. Oh, other than these can manifest as mood swings, anger, difficulty managing emotions, social withdrawals, and issues starting tasks, often alongside physical symptoms like headaches and fatigues. Kevin. All right, cognitive effects, memory problems, short term memory loss, difficulty recalling events, thinking difficulties, trouble concentrating, confusion, feeling foggy, slow thinking, executive function issues, problems with planning, organizing, and starting tasks, communications, trouble finding words clearly, communicating clearly. Now, these are the emotional and behavioral effects. Mood changes, depression, anxiety, irritability, anger, sadness. Personal shift, impulsive emotional outbursts, lack of empathy, inappropriate behavior. This is important. Psychiatric disorders, increased risk for PTSD, major depression, ADHD, and suicide thoughts. Behavioral issues, restlessness, social withdrawal, lack of motivation, and frustration. When I read this, it hurts because this is my son. You know, Kevin's mental issues started when he was a child. I didn't know. And, Kevin had DMDD, but I didn't know what that was. And because of an amazing woman, I'm going to tag Marilyn in this, she taught me that was my child. And I thought Kevin was just being a bad kid, but he wasn't. He was suffering from a mental health issue. Underlying causes, these mental effects are a mix of direct brain dysfunction, damage in emotional centers, and it can impact a person's life. Long term concerns, repeat TBIs. Kevin has had 6 TBIs. 6. There's a picture that Kevin sent me probably 2003. And I'm going to post that picture. And it's going to be beware. And I talked about it yesterday. Kevin has, and when you get his haircut, I'll show you, you can see it. His head was split from here to here, like a J, like almost a complete U. Repeat TBIs, even mild ones, can lead to progressive neurological disorders like chronic traumatic, I can't pronounce it, ENCEPHALOPATHY. They call it CTE. Well, we all know about CTE. That's what football players get, causing memory issues, confusion, and behavioral problems. And that's just a simple Google search. You know, the streets aren't kind to people with mental health. I didn't know, and that's part of my guilt as his mother. That's part of what I hold on to as his mom. That my son was suffering with the mental health issues, and then being, we're from up north. The streets are not kind. My son has had his jaw broken twice within 10 years, hence the slurring. He has gotten beaten in the head. My son did time in prison. The guards beat my son so bad, there's a picture floating around that his son's mother posted years ago where my son's face was that bad from what the correctional officers did to my child. So many of us in the black community are not taken seriously. Like, I'm telling you, parents, if your child falls, keep an eye on them, take them to the doctor, let them have an MRI. Don't be me. I'm telling you now, do not be me. I didn't recognize that my son was suffering from DMDD. I didn't think that all that would affect him as far as the TBIs like it did. And then for him to be hit with early onset Alzheimer's because it runs in our family. My mother, my aunt, on my father's side, it runs in our family. My guilt is, why didn't I do something soon enough? And I'm going to live with that guilt. And it hurts me to my core to know that I didn't recognize. And I know people are going to say, but Rachel, you didn't know. I get that. But I was still his mom. Kevin got disciplined as a child because I thought he was a bad kid, and he wasn't. He was suffering from mental health issues. And this is why I say so many of our young black children are sitting in juvenile hall because they were never properly diagnosed with mental health issues. Now, here's a catcher now. Black African Americans are most likely to be diagnosed with schizophrenia when they're not schizophrenic. That is a true statistic. You can look that up. Unfortunately, it's true for Kevin. Parents, listen to your children when they start acting out. What's the reason? What is the reason why they're going through what they're going through? I don't want another parent, mother or father, to live in my guilt. I live with guilt every day because I didn't recognize or knew, and I should have known, that my son was suffering from mental health issues. And then when I did see it, I was dealing with my own grief of my mother and the passing of Lawrence. I saw it, but I didn't want to see it. Traumatic brain injury, even the slightest bump, can change a child if it's not checked on time. It's 6:46. Let me get out of here. I've got Kevin breakfast and lunch ready. And have a great day. But listen to your children. If they fall down, please put a helmet on your kids if they're riding a bike or skateboarding. If they get in a fight, check them. Take them to the emergency room. Did you get kicked in the head? Did you get hit in the head? Don't be me. Don't walk in my guilt.